So once again, welcome to the Unshakable Foundation meeting of Cocaine Anonymous. This is a main share meeting, and today it's with great pleasure and lots of gratitude that we welcome Amal, who's come to share on the topic of the second paragraph of page 24 from our big book for up to about 40 minutes, after which we'll open up for the Q&A portion of the meeting. And with that, Amal, it's over to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, 40 minutes. That's what I like to hear. Hi, everyone. My name's Amal. I'm a drug addict. How you doing? How you doing? Again, we're here. Another Christmas, another year, clean and sober, free from the misery and terror of addiction. How amazing is that? Thank you again for asking me. It's always a pleasure and honor to be of service. It's always a pleasure and honor to be of service in Cocaine Anonymous, the fellowship that I crave. So I'm very, very grateful. Just grateful. I have nothing else to say but gratitude to all of you guys. There is a WE program. Without you guys, I won't be here today. So first and foremost, I'd like to say I've been battling with this flu for the last probably 13 days now. And I've been sharing, live on Zoom, sharing again tomorrow, God willing, Saturday. And I'm so, so grateful. Because I remember when I came in, my very first sponsor said, you must be willing to go to any length of a victory of alcohol, any length, to also have a spiritual experience. Are you willing to go to any length? Because I know back in the days, if there was a bit of crack or there was a bit of party or a bit of drugs or whatever, I will be going to any length. So I have to do the same thing with my recovery. As long as I'm alive and breathing, I will be here. So welcome to anybody, any newcomers, anybody back from a relapse, old comers. We need you guys. Welcome to the Fellowship of the Spirit. I hope you try and listen to the similarities and not the differences, because I'm very aware that this is an illness of separation and isolation, and it separates us away from each other, and it plays tricks on you. You might say, oh, I didn't use as much as Amal. I didn't have as many consequences, and I'm not going to work this deal as hard as I need to. It's not about the consequences. We all felt the same internally. We hit the place where we cannot use successfully. Saying one thing and doing another. Do you find yourself, once you take one, it sets off that phenomenon of craving, you're off and running? That is what we have in common. So no matter what walks of life you come from, black, white, rich, poor, we all are here for one common bond or one common solution. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who are incapable of being honest. When I came in on the 10th of October 2004, one day at a time, I've just celebrated 21 years, which is really a shock by the grace of God. One day at a time. I couldn't be honest to me, let alone to you guys. There's nothing that I did, thorough or honest. I didn't even understand what the words means. Nothing can but thoroughness and honesty from the very start. But today I know. You have to be brutally honest within yourself, to yourself. You can lie to people, you can manipulate, we're good at that. But it's about being honest to you. Do you really want what I have? Are you really willing to go to any length to have a spiritual experience, to be free of this, freedom of self-destruction? Do you really want to get sober and stay sober and have emotional sobriety and feel good, happy, joyous and free? Not just sober, sitting with a long face, sober and happy. Then it is a program of action. So I'm going to share in a general way what it was like, what happened, where I am now. I am going to share my story. I'm also going to share about page 24, the second paragraph. When my friend here asked me to pick up a paragraph, I wasn't well, I fell asleep, and next day I woke up, the first thing I thought, today I'm accountable. Let me just pick this one here. God just picked it up for me, I sit here by the grace of God, and everything I have is by His grace. I am a spiritual speaker. I will not shy away from my God of my own understanding. The big book says the purpose of the book is to find a power that will solve my problem. My problem was never crack, was never drink, was never men, was never sex. My problem was self. I was selfish and self-centered to the core. I had no power to do anything in life. I couldn't do life on life terms. So I need to have God's help. This is how and why of it. So men and women of faith have courage. They trust their God. You see, we laugh at those who think spirituality is the way of weakness. Paradoxically, is the way of strength for me today. So everything I have is by His grace. And I thank God for my life. I'm a Christian today and I believe in Jesus Christ. And I give Him thanks every day. Because He gives me the grace to do these things. To be able to travel to Guildford and share. And I had a bad flu last Saturday. To be able to come here and yesterday and tomorrow and all of that. Is because I seek that power. Having had conscious contact with my Creator on a daily basis, He enables me to get out of myself and come here and share a message of hope to the still suffering addicts and alcoholics. Because my selfishness and my self-centeredness want me to share about my flu. I'm tired of taking Lemsip. I'm tired of, my nose is blocked. I'm tired of feeling weak. No. I need to remember where I'm coming from. I have an illness that centers in my mind that tells me I don't have it. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. The longer clean time I have, the worse it gets. The road gets narrower. I have to continue to work this deal like my life depends on it. Every day is a day. We must carry God's will into all our activity. The proper use of the will. So I have to every day wake up, do my little prayers, read my book, help others, pick up the phone, do service, and use love and tolerance and humility and all of that with people, and forgive others and just be kind. No matter what people do to me, try and be kind. And it's not easy for us. I know how it is. I do get it. But what you practice, you become. It's easier than using for me. So, I'm going to share in a general way what it was like, what happened, where I am now. And I'm going to talk about that page. Because that page really touches my heart. From day one I came in, I was like, whoa. How did the alcoholic man that wrote this book knew how I felt? How did they know how I felt? And it is attraction rather than promotion. It is about reading the first 43 pages to diagnose yourself, to feel that. To say, yes, I was that. Yes, I felt like that. Yes, I will do that. And that's how it is. So I'm from Morocco, and I'm very proud of being Moroccan. I always share about it. Today I am. I wasn't back in the days. Because you see, from a very young age, I was always irritable, restless, and discontent. I don't know about anybody who was born with the illness or you picked it along the way. For me, I was never comfortable in my own skin until I came into recovery. I was always full of fear. I was anxious. I had this emptiness, this low self-esteem, this low self-worth. I had these emotional problems. I suffered of them. It was all about people. I remember from a young age, if my mom asked me to go to the shop, I got to go in the groups. If I have a friend at school, she stopped talking to me, or he stopped talking to me, I am not going to school. I've got temperature, I'm crying, my life has ended. My whole life was centered around people. Try to get validation from people. People's love meant a lot to me. Oh, why you don't love me? Why you don't like me? People at school don't want to talk to me. I'm very angry. And it was like that. Self-seeking people's approval. And I was also good at doing people's thinking. Oh, they don't like me. Or maybe they got a new friend. But generally, people are just maybe busy. Children find other children. Working the 12 steps has given me a different set of eyes that I know people would do as they pleased. People might love me, they might like me, they might be my friends, or might not get a message every day. They might be busy generally, They might just forgot. But I've got this illness that, see the worst of it. Tell me nobody likes me, you're horrible, you're this and that. And before you know it, I'm separate away from you. I'm in that mental blank spot. The big book says there will be a day I'll be taken to a mental blank spot and I will drink again if I'm not in fit spiritual condition. The behavior that leads to that that stinking thinking they talk about. So I had to have that rearrangement of thinking. That the common sense become uncommon sense. I could not do that without having God's help. This is how and why of it. We had to quit playing God. It doesn't work in this drama of life. He's the father, I'm the child. He's the principal, I'm the agent. And if I perform his work well, the word well, he will keep me safe and protected in that position of neutrality. And I've experienced that through my 2 decades by the grace of God. I've woken up, my mum passed away, things happening, challenges at work, envy at work, colleagues, all kind of rubbish going on. But I'm still in that position of neutrality, safe and protected. That will not mine be done. So yes, I was born in Morocco. My dad was an alcoholic. I remember, when I was 7, he was always drunk. As far as I can remember, he was always falling on the floor with the cake. Every birthday, my dad would be on the ground and everyone's laughing at him. My mum would beat him up and it was just horrendous. My mum and dad was always fighting, He suffered domestic violence from my mum more likely than she did from him. He was just an alcoholic, but I loved him so much because he was very loving, very kind. May his soul rest in peace. And he always showed me love the way I wanted it to be shown. Because again, I'm selfish and self-centered. If I'm not working the 12-step program on a daily basis until the day I die, just for today, I will want the love to be shown the way I want it. I can go to a meeting and see the chairs, set up in a different way. I'm like, whoa, why are they around? Somebody might just shake my hand and not give me a hug. And I'm like, why they don't hug me? I've known this person years. I'm like that. Again, working the 12-step program, I had that rearrangement of thinking. People will love you. They might not tell you they love you. People will love you. They might not text you every day. Everyone's different. God creates us all different. How freeing is that? How do you want me not to stay in this recovery? This is the best thing I've ever done in my life. I don't know about you. Accepting things, accepting people, who they are, what they do. It's an amazing thing. Pardon me. So that's what happened. My father left. My mom met a man who became her husband. He introduced her to alcohol. She started drinking. Our house was one big party. We were very poor, it's third world countries. I've forgiven my mom. I've forgiven everyone today. There's no one I refuse to forgive. I have to. Because God is love. I cannot sit here and share a message of hope when I'm in turmoil, when I'm full of anger, resentment, and bitterness. I cannot stand up on the podium in front of people and I don't even know what I'm going to say. I'm rushing around, getting in the last minute, coming on the train, I'm just laughing away. And, I cannot do that if I'm resentful because God speaks through me. This is a demonstration coming from 1932 and it's coming to us. Anybody thinks that you're planning what you're going to say, God bless you, I see people write things down. That's not for me. I don't know what I'm saying. That will not mine be done. So, my stepdad was drinking with my mom. We had a big party. He started abusing me sexually. I went through all that. There was a lot of, prostitution, a lot of people making money, people having sex in our house. I was there looking after everything. I share this stuff because I hear people say, just like I did, if you had the life that I had, if you were brought up the way I was brought up, you would use the way I used. It's an illness of justification again. This illness justifies itself. It's insidious. It's the devil's work. It tells you, where you should use anyway. Look what you've been through. Nobody ever loved you. That's how it was for me. So I really thought I'm using to numb the pain, and I deserve to use because I had a horrible childhood. Coming into Cocaine Anonymous, and I thank God for that. I met so many beautiful people like yourself, and I'm sure some of you are here. I'm sure, some of you had the best childhood. I'm sure when you share back, you said you don't relate with what I went through, but you felt like me. But however, you ended up in the same meeting as me, using against, against yourself, you can't stop. So that's what we have in common. And that is freeing. Because I thought I was the worst person. I had the worst life. Or when I came in, I hate people. Oh my God, I had a good childhood. I've had a good mom. I'm rich and this and that. And I ended up using. I was like, yeah, I felt like that. So, cut the long story short. I came into the UK. I was about 17. But just before that, for me, it wasn't just about drink or drugs. It was about Valium. It was about glue sniffing. Then it was about hash, then hash oil, all of that, alcohol, anything to get me out of self. Men and women drink for their effects because I didn't want to be in this world. As you know, I had those emotional problems, like I said earlier. So drink and drugs changed the way I felt. It took me out of that. I was like, whoa, I can do all things in the name of getting high. I can dance. I can speak to men. I can do anything. I'm no longer shy. I'm no longer anxious. I'm no longer afraid. So take that away in sobriety. I need something greater than that. Pardon me. I need something greater than sex, than men, than cakes, than drugs, which is the power and the presence of God. I see some people believe in doorknobs and tables. Good luck. I can't believe on a table that I can smash up very easily. You see, whatever concept of a higher power, the big book says whatever concept of a higher power, as long as you believe, even you believe could be as small as a mustard seed. Something supernatural could be the universe, the sun, someone passed away, I don't know. But it has to be supernatural because no human power could stop me from using. Nothing. No matter what I tried, jails, institutions, death, rape, I still go back and do it. So, I came into this country, it was one big party for me. I was like, yes, I'm away from my mom. I was calling her Hitler, God rest her soul, I thank God for the 12-step program that I was unable to love my mom for the way she is. I was able to go back there 2 years ago and organize her funeral. I was in the meeting, doing some share in Luton, and I get this news. I was able to stand up there for her and do the way she wants it. I was able to stand up in the morgue and get my mum washed and put the last nail on that box and box her up and watch her and kiss her on her front head, not once, not twice, while she's dressed in white. It's the way the Muslims do it. I was able to go back in 40 days and do another party for her neighbors, to make my mum proud, because it's no longer about me. It's about what my mum would want. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to practice these principles in all our affairs. Our next function is, to understand in effectiveness, to be effective in here, in our work, with people. It's not just in CA meeting. What a deal. What an amazing deal. Like I said, it was one big party for me. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I was just like a hungry animal just running down the road. As you know, my mum was strict. I was never allowed out. I was stuck in the house, cleaning and cooking, looking out of a little window, And I remember back home in Morocco, just quickly want to go back, I stripped naked and I stand in the window waving to everyone. Hello, here I am. Now, a normal person wouldn't do that. A normal person wouldn't stand naked waving away, or getting all the carrots and the potatoes, cutting them up small pieces and throwing them at people, throwing eggs at people to get attention. Low self-esteem and a low self-worth. So I use sex, I use men, I use anything to change the way I felt. I remember as young as I was, I'd sleep with men older than me, not for money, nothing, just so I can feel good. Oh, please sleep with me. I thank God for the 12-step program. I thank God for God that going in this hole and making me feel warm, that I don't have the emptiness. Recovery is an inside job. Something inside has to change. If I'm sitting in a meeting feeling still less than, feeling ugly, feeling this, feeling whatever, God creates us all different. You put on weight, you slim, you this and that, whatever you are, you need to love yourself. Because God is love. You are who you are. But you see, this is an illness that tells you you're not worthy of it. So I came and started, doing weed, drinking. The cocaine come out in the 80s, if you guys know. The freebase, raving about acid, tablets. I'm in the rave scene, dancing away with my long curly hair, thinking I'm Beyonce on the dance floor, dancing on the pole, doing all kind of activities, sleeping around in toilets here and there, robbing people here and there. It's just insane behavior. Insane behavior. I go out with my daughter and she has a drink and I see that she's not like me. My neighbors go out to the pub playing pool. I go with them on a Friday. They're drinking. They put the drink down. They're not like me. I say, oh my God, why are you sitting? I need to drink to show off, to do something. Can you not see how insane I am sober, let alone drinking? That's how it was for me, taking cocaine, drinking, meeting my ex-husband, meeting him in the club. He looks good. He's got a nice bum, six-pack. Yes, he's going to change the way I felt. Because you see, I was doomed. I used to go with people that look good because I didn't feel good. So I want to be in their group so people would say I'm in their group. You see, this deal does not rub off. It does not rub off. You can have a sponsor who works the steps, who does her best, who do service, and you're still not going to get this unless you work it yourself. Program of action. How many people after the meeting message me, Amal, can you sponsor me? Where are you? I can't shove it down your throat. The only requirement for membership is a desire. Do you have a desire? Do you want what I have? Then you need to do what I do. My life is busy as hell. All my days off, I've got a diary. I'm booked in all through. I don't enjoy my day off. I have to do this every day. If you ask me to go to Timbuktu, I'm there. I saw my friend the other day in Lowestoft. Lowestoft is far away from me. It's like 4 hours, Greg Yamat. But I have to be willing to grow spiritually, to experience God again speaks through me. It's amazing because I've got an illness that tells me I don't have it. So I need to keep reminded, service, unity, recovery constantly. Can't just get this and run with it. Oh, I'm cured. I don't know about who finished the steps. The steps are never ending. It's forever. It's ongoing. And before you know it, I married 12 years, suffered domestic violence the same night. He beat me up, broke my ribs. I stayed with him. Again, I had a low self-esteem and a low self-worth. Thank God he even stayed with me. Oh, thank God he beat me up. Maybe that's the way love is. Giving me a black eye, telling me I love you, baby. I'm thinking, yeah, this is it. Because I like the excitement. That's not it. I am a child of God. I'm not a mattress today. Love is kind. Love persevere. The Bible talks about it. Corinthians 13. Love, doesn't envy, doesn't resent. True love never dies. If someone love you, they do not put you down. Anybody in the meeting putting you down, you keep relapsing, you better run away from them. Love is kind. Who are we to judge people? Some people don't get this. Keep coming back. If you are here, thank God you're alive. We're not here to judge. We're just here to show the newcomer love, to bring love into it. It's all about love. The power of love. There's only two things in recovery. There's either fear or love. When you get this and you get emotional sobriety, you will understand what I mean. You'll remember my name, Amal. Because if you feel love and you feel humility and forgiveness and acceptance and peace and harmony, and you wake up in the morning smiling, even your ears are falling off, you're letting God work through you. If you're waking up resentful, worried, afraid, selfish, paranoid, judging, gossiping, that's fear. Putting your will ahead of God's will. Every resentment is fear-based. You are God. You know what's going on. You're afraid what people are going to think, so you're judging and all of that. So let God be the final judge. Thy will not mine be done. Whatever they say, whatever they do, and that was it. I took crack cocaine after that relationship. I divorced. I met someone else. I had another daughter. I'm now with 2 kids. I've got a habit of crack. I took that one pipe. I couldn't stop. I'm not here to say crack is the worst drug. That's not right, because whatever you've taken, if you've taken, cocaine, if you've taken alcohol, if you used for 2 years, 1 year, 10 years, I used for 28 years, welcome to Cocaine Anonymous. It's about how you feel when you take one. Does it set off that phenomenon of craving? Can you stop? Given sufficient reason, yeah, you might stop, you got work or something, but can you stop? And that's why I come into page 24, it says that, we reach the place in our drinking and drugging that the most powerful desire to stop become no avail. It never has occurred to my mind in my life that, I would stop, or I could stop, or I am going to stop. That has not even passed through my head ever. I thought that's the life I'm going to live. That's the life I deserve. And one time I thought I was having a good time. So what? It's life when you're young. Let's get high. But at the end of my using, not remembering the humiliation of a week or a month ago, it's sad. It's sad because, it made me feel guilty and shameful. It made me hate myself. It's like self-harm. I'm thinking, my God, I'm sitting in this crack house getting raped by these young boys, half of my age. I'm smelling terribly. I look terribly. My hygiene is out the window. My children are in care. Police are calling me. Local authority are calling me. I'm just cutting the phone out. And I can't make it back home. And all I want to do is score more or find means to get more. Thank God for Cocaine Anonymous. Thank God for the love of God. Thank God for a program of action. Thank God for step 1. We are admitted we're powerless over our addiction. Our life has become unmanageable. It takes 43 pages to convince me that lack of power is the dilemma that I'm up against. So how could I not come here and speak about my God first, the power, because I'm powerless. Consequences do not keep us from drinking or drugging. Getting raped, going back to the same man, going to prison, coming back, doing a longer sentence, leaving your kids, going back, redoing it, and wondering, are you crazy? How can you get sober without the 12-step program, without writing an inventory and forgiving yourself and finding a loving God? In order to forgive others, you got to forgive you. And if you have worked this deal and you started working this deal, you must love yourself to admit you're powerless, because it is about self-love, to agree with what's in the book and to do this, because you deserve more than being out there using. So, that's how it was. Started smoking crack, could not stop. For me, crack cocaine was like a roller coaster. It made me numb. I'd give you bags of weed. Just give me a pipe. I enjoyed every moment of it. And I'm not glamorizing it. Please don't understand that. But I mean, when I took it, this is why I liked it. Because I could not stop. I thought like, whoa, I'm in the roller coaster. Everything's numb here. Because by this time I was angry with my mom, my dad, God, the devil, society, Islam, Morocco, my ex-husband, my kids, the whole world, the dealers. Because you see, I was a victim, so I was always blaming. Look what they've done. I was one of them drug addicts that sits in the crack house, smoke crack and start wallowing. Oh my God, if you know what I've been through, what they've done to me. I was always saying what they've done to me. Today I try and change my my lingo with that. You know, I've been through that, but nobody done nothing to me. You meet people, things happen. No one's forced me, put a gun in my head. And it's freeing to just understand that, I played a big part on my using. However, I was powerless. I didn't know any better. And if I didn't know any better, I couldn't have done better. So why should I be full of guilt or remorse? But I came in full of it, though. Blaming me. Look what I've done. I'm a bad mum. I'm a whore. I'm a thief. I'm horrible. God hates me. I never came here to find God. And I also thought God never came to save me. When I was getting raped by my stepdad, left in that room, my mum's drunk. When I was getting raped in crack houses, where was God then? Because this is how my mind, I used to gamble with him. Where was he? Why couldn't he save me? How could I say that? Because God was within. There's a deep fundamental idea of God in each woman and child. And I thank God that I had to put my old ideas and pick up new ideas. How could I even have think that? But that's addiction. That's the illness. It keeps you sick, full of guilt and remorse and shame. Look what they've done. Look what God did. Look what the devil did. No. Recovery is like a mirror. It's about putting your hand up. Yes, I fucked up. But there is a way out. I am not well. I've got an illness like I've got cancer, and there is a cure of it. I've got a soul sickness, and there is a spiritual experience, something to go in my soul to make me feel good. So when I find that, those six senses, I'm all right. I continue to do it very easy peasy. Crack cocaine has brought me to my knees. I ended up with 2 girls getting raped, in my own house. My kids are crying, pawning all my goods, and I can't stop. And I'm going back and doing it, and I can't stop and crying my eyes out. God, what's happening? And I also thought God didn't want nothing to do with someone like me when I came into recovery. And you guys talk about the God idea. I thought, whoa, I can't open any holy book. No, I'm Muslim or Christian. It's going to be on fire because I've caused a lot of mayhem out there. The guilt and shame was eating me out. My internal condition was eating me out. The remorse. All I could do is use more. I thank God for Cocaine Anonymous. To understand the foundation. To put your hand up and say, yes. Consequence don't keep me from using. Self-knowledge avail, that's nothing. How many people know the book in and out? They know that they are drug addicts, alcoholic, they're using. It's a program of action. Every day is the day we must carry God's will into all our activity. If you stop answering the phone, you don't want to sponsor people, you don't want to do shares, you don't want to do service, you're off your phone, you just want to enjoy your life and live your life like the man who was 25 years sober. You will be back again to that sense of isolation and separation, the mental blood spot. We're never cured of alcoholism. What we have is a daily reprieve. We're like people that never grow new legs. The delusion that we like other people has to be smashed. Only a sponsor who's armed with the facts, with the help of God, that can smash the idea by reading the 43 pages. So now I get it. So now I've got the foundation. I get I'm not a whore. I get I'm not crazy. I get I'm not a bad mom. I'm just powerless. I've got an illness sentence in my mind. Why I travel to, to another part of the world I still use. I change boyfriend, I still use. I change house, I still use because I take my head with me. So I had to have that rearrangement of thinking. Because when my will is not available, whatever thought, whatever action is going to be self-will run riot. So that's when step 3 comes into it. So anyway, let me just go back quickly. So I came into recovery broken, full of shame, full of guilt, lost my 2 kids, got raped so many times. The last rape, I was gang raped. I was put to sleep for 3 days. Most of you know I was in the back garden somewhere naked in Haringey, walking around, no shoes, no underwear, just a little jacket, looking for more crack. My children were taken to care. They were left at home. The neighbors called police. Consequences of that, I had a little boy conceived from that rape. Today I've forgiven my rapist. Because the big book says, God save me from being angry. You will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Maybe this is sick people. How could I be of service to them? Yes, I don't know about the people who raped me, but I've forgiven them. God is love. The inventory is mine, not theirs. People say, I don't want to give the power to someone, I don't want to forgive them. When you resent someone, you are a prisoner. You're stuck. Even if they're sitting in the meeting next to you and they're 20 years, they're not saying so sorry. Who cares? It's about your inventory. You need to clear the wreckage of your past because God cannot work through you. You're blocked. It's like you're throwing a ball, it's going to the wall and hitting back again. You need to clear. Resentment is number one offender. When the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically by dealing with resentment, by writing them in black and white. The inventory is mine. So, I lost everything worthwhile. I was gang raped. I lost my home, my children. I came into a meeting. I walked into a criminal justice system. I was told to go into a meeting or go to jail. I walked in that day program. I was told to go to a meeting. I walked into NA. I started going to NA and then I started going to CA and I just fell in love with it. I'm not here to put any fellowships down. Believe me, I would share in AA, CA, NA, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. For me, something happened to me in Cocaine Anonymous. I see people getting well. I see people listening. They're not in and out. I see people doing this deal very quickly and helping someone else. That's what this is about. Doing this very quickly, helping someone else. I haven't got 1 year, 2 years to be writing inventories and feelings. No. This is not about feelings. It's about getting rid of that step 4 and getting out there and helping others, like Dr. Bill in that few days, and they helped others. So, I never left. I believe what I liked about the meetings is the love you guys showed me. I've never experienced it before. You gave me food, you bought me tea, you gave me hugs, true hugs, you gave me the key to a venue, you gave me responsibilities. I was very undisciplined. So you treated me like a human being. I was like a lion. I didn't know where I was or coming. I lived in crack houses. Nobody trusted me. Nobody understood me. Nobody asked me how I felt. You guys did. What I like is you guys sharing about some horror stories and you had some kind of serenity around it. You sharing that you've been raped, but you forgiving your rapist. I was shocked, I remember. It was step 11. It was in Hampstead. I will never forget it. I was like, what? Why are they sharing about that? Because those are the secret I was going to die. I was going to take to my grave. Because I'm not going to let you I was raped. I'm not going to let you know I was eating out of bins or I left. No. And I would stay sick that way. My advice to you guys and newcomers, until you open up and go deep into your heart and open up and share all your story and cry your eyes out, you're not going to get well. Because the truth will set you free. You get instant result with it. And I kept on going back and I kept on going back. I started doing H&I and, hospitals and institutions I've served over 15, 16 years. I've been to prisons. I've opened prisons. It was amazing. I remember coming out of the prison, my son was getting adopted. You see, that little boy that was conceived from rape, he got adopted. He was 21 the other day, June the 24th. I'm still looking for him. 3 years ago, I woke up crying. God, please show me where he is. I called the local authority. The woman said, sorry, everyone's changed. Everyone retired and that I can give you, an email of a lady. She's like a mediation team in Islington. She can help you find your son. If you've got £4,000, she'll find him. If you don't, you'll be on the waiting list. I go there, I meet the lady, I take the birth certificate, I take all my papers, I cry, I share, I hug her and all that happy. She said, I'll find your son. She found my son. I was in Morocco in July. She called me. She said, I found your son. He's at university. It's his last year. Let's not disturb him with a letter. I was so happy. She write the first letter. She has evidence. It was signed for. They don't reply. She write the second letter. It was evidence signed for. They don't reply. She just sent the last third letter and she closed my file. She said, do you need counseling? I said, no, I'm fine. I've got my God. You see, for me, I'm grateful that Dominic is alive. I'm grateful that my son that was conceived from rape is actually alive and well and at university doing a degree. God knows where he will be. That's the most important thing for me. It's not about me wanting him. That will not mind be done. If he comes back, he comes back. If he don't, he don't. People say he will come back. We don't know that. But I know that I will stay safe and protected. Using is not an option. I have had a spiritual awakening. We don't have to use. We don't have to rest on our laurels, because he didn't come back. So by the grace of God, I pray I will see him. And if I don't, it's okay. A year sober, my son was adopted. A year and a half, I was diagnosed with HIV. It wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy. I share this stuff, not so you can feel sorry for me, because I love myself. And HIV virus is just a low immune system. I walk by faith and not by sight. I'm not afraid of AIDS or any of that. And if I get diagnosed with that, I don't care less, because I've lived my life. And I know how my funeral will be. There will be nothing but people from CA and people doing shares and people laughing and people dressed up and that. And it's all written down in my will. There will be no crack dealers coming into my party saying, oh, she died when they sold me crack. I know that for sure. So today, you know, I sit here by the grace of God and I'm happy, joyous and free. You know, I remember my sponsor taking me through these 43 pages and explaining to me that lack of power is the dilemma I'm up against. I say, okay. And I want to say, no, I have got the power. I know what I'm doing. Still doomed. So that's the foundation. I'm building a house. I get that. Yes, I'm powerless. Step 2, I get some help. That, you know, we came to believe there's a power out there that will restore my mind to sanity. It's okay, so I get hope. The ego that was smashed in step 1, I get little hope on step 2. I move on to step 3. It says it in the big book, who can triumph arch to freedom? Thou will not mine be done. God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt today. Relieve me of the bondage of myself so I can be a channel, or, you know, of you, so I can deliver a message of integrity, a message of hope to the still suffering addicts in this room. So I can touch someone, encourage someone that if I can't do it, you can. So now I can do step 4. Fearless moral inventory. I've got 1 and 2 and 3. Foundation, cornerstone, keystone. The people who wrote this know what they're doing. So I write that fearless moral inventory. I look at people who harm me, sick people. My stepdad was a sick man. I went back home, shake his hand. He had diabetic. He was overweight. He could barely walk. I felt sorry for him because I actually don't have any hatred for him. Because, you know, I did things when I was driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, self-pity. I didn't rape no one, but I kidnapped people. I robbed old people. I beat up people. I set up girls. I done things too. The Bible said, who's been forgiven much, love much. I'm not perfect, and they're not here for me to say sorry. And my God has forgiven me, and he loves every hair on my head. The big book says, if you sincerely make such a position, and you truly say sorry, all remarkable things will follow. Do not be remorse. It's a form of spiritual disease. God has truly forgiven you, as long as you repent and you don't repeat it. So who is me not to, to judge them, not to let them go? Well, by the time I get to step 5, I had to have the death of selfishness and the awakening of the spirit in a way that I've got different glasses, seeing the world, that perhaps the spiritual is sick just like me. People fall short just like me. My mum beat me up and was very strict because she was brought up like that. She was very poor, drugged into Jewish people's houses, cleaning when she was 4 or 5. She couldn't even get in the bath to clean it, bless her. They had no electric, nothing. She suffered. How could she show me love? She never been shown love. You see? So it's me that have had those tools. It's me that's been through having had. It's what I do what makes a difference, not what you do for me. What about you? You're horrible to me. I'm horrible to you. That's the attitude that I had. So I have to have that rearrangement of thinking that people are just people. Sponsors relapse. Sponsors can blank you. Sponsors can relapse. People can gossip. We're all humans. Flesh will always fool you. They will always fool you because flesh is flesh. But my God has never failed me, providing I seek him, diligently every day. And I thank him. It is about Thanksgiving. I wake up and say, thank you, God, that I'm HIV positive. Thank you, God, that I'm in the UK, that I can get the medication for free. Because in my country, they'll probably kill me because they don't want to hear about that. It's different countries, different third world countries. Islam is different. Thank you, God, that my son is with the good family and he's at uni. Thank you, God, that I went to the dark side to find the light, to know who I am today. Because today what makes me happy is showing love to another person. Because all my life, I've never felt love. Oh, you don't love me. Oh, you don't love me good enough. You don't sleep with me. I want it this way. I want it that way. I want that man. I want this. I want that. Sex is troublesome. Throw yourself into helping others. I was always moaning. Never have enough of nothing. So today I know what love is. Love is giving it. Once you give love to someone, like in this meeting sharing, the love I experience is just abundance. I can't explain it. If you've been through it, you know what I'm talking about. If you have emotional sobriety, you know what I'm talking about. I'm about to wrap up. I just quickly want to run through the steps, so step 4 for me. It's an eye opener. Where was I to blame? What could I have done different? Judging my poor mum. Oh, I wish I had a different mum. I hated her. I want her dead. Oh, I wish I had a European mum. My mum was my mum. If you have a mum, you better love her. If you have a dad, that's all you have. You better pick up the phone and say, hi, Mum, I love you. Hi, Dad, I love you. If they're ranting, say, sorry, I've got another call. I've got to go. I'll call you back. Don't get into that stage character. If only people would do as I say, life would be great. My sponsor's happy. My sponsors never relapse. Everyone loves me. Well, life is not like that. Because, pardon me, life on life terms, people will let you down. People will talk about you, like I said. The 12-step program is when things are wrong. When things don't go your way. That's what the tools we have. We have the tools to face anything. If there is a tremblement, if someone died in your family, you stand straight. Using is not an option because you have God and you have the tools and you have the program and you have the traditions and you have the principles and the concepts and you know what you suffer of. That you know when you pick up, you'll be back into that. You know, an alcoholic will always be an alcoholic. I look at my fear. It's not real. It's imagine God is love. When I'm in fear, something is wrong. I'm either tired or I've done a lot. I've been running around, just running around non-stopping. Or something is wrong, which hasn't really happened to me for a very long time. I've been sharing in big meetings, not out of ego. I don't get fear. The only time I get fear is when somebody said to me, oh, are you sharing tonight? Oh, my God, it's going to be bad. I said, listen, don't tell me that. I'm just a crack addict. I'm just a crack addict letting God work through me. There's nothing that I'm doing here on my own power. We had to have God's help, remember? I cannot do anything on my own power without my God. If I wake up and start thinking, I am Amal, yes, let's do this, how do you think my life will be? Hell. Back into that sense of isolation and separation. I say, God, direct me, show me the way. So when I come in on stage, I say, thank you, God, for my life. And then he just speaks through me or she, whatever you believe in. Step 6 and 7, God is or isn't, you know. We're just witnesses here. We just bear witness. If you don't have the willingness, pray until it comes. If you don't have the willingness to believe that God can remove everything that blocks you away from him, pray until it comes. You know, God loves us with good and bad. You know, we're not perfect. We don't come here to be religious bores and perfect. And, you know, we swear, we laugh, we dance. We go to a dance, we drink Red Bull, we do things. You know, we're full short. We have to go back and do it again. Every night. Where was I short? Where was I? How amazing is that? That you have something to go back and analyze. Oh, I shouldn't do that. It's not good for me. Drinking 2 Red Bulls in a CA dance is not good for me because it keeps my eyes open and it makes me feel unwell. So I try and drink 1. He's laughing. If I drink 1, I stick to 1. You know, step 8 is about my sponsor give me a list and I go out and make amends. So I make amends to everybody here. If I was loud, if I was raw, if I was too honest, I have to be. This is not just about you. This is about me getting well. I can't play with this deal. I can't pussyfoot around this deal. This is about life and death. And it is a progressive illness and it will kill me. It's not a drink or a drug that will kill me. It's selfishness that will kill me. Tell me that I'm cured. I'm untouchable. So I have to share honestly and I have to share raw and truthfully. Because I have to share the pain. It's not about the good things where I've been or here. No, it's about how bad I was. Because the illness tells me, no, it wasn't that bad. He was having a good time in the rave. He had a nice point. No. So, you know, all the things that my sponsor gave me, all the defects, it is my responsibility to turn them around. God can only remove from me what I cannot do for myself. So it is my responsibility to be selfless, kind, loving, you know, happy, joyous, and all of that. And independent and pay my bills. And be a man up. And look at myself and say, yes, Amal. You might have a few bills. You were traveling around twice a year, showing off, going to Morocco, visiting your family. You pay now the credit card. It's fine. Instead of wallowing, oh, you know, I wish I had this. And take accountability. You're smoking cigarettes. I'm vaping. The other day I started smoking again. That's my business. I hear people saying, oh, my God, I'm smoking. I want to give up. Oh, and they're wallowing. You give up when you give up. If you really want to give up, you will give up. You know what to do. Go to the gym. Start getting well and you'll give up. I like to swim. I love swimming. So, you know, step 9 is about making amends. And 10, 11, and 12, like they say, is just the horse they ride, like they say. You know, it's a continuation. You see, I'm about to close in now. The first 9 steps are designed to awaken my spirit, because the big book tells me that selfishness and self-centeredness is the root of my trouble. Driven. I wake up, oh, I got no money, oh, nobody likes me, oh my God. My hair's not good, I'm ugly, I can't go out the door. Driven. I've got car tickets. Take responsibility. I've got one I need to ride. Appear, take responsibility. When you're driven, you're not in God's world. There is no God in it. I don't care how many church you're attending, how many Bibles you're bashing. You can lie to everyone, but I know. I've seen it with my eyes. It's what you do. Action tells me that you don't have God in your life because you're driven. You wake up and say, you know what? What would be if Dominic comes, he comes. You know, I truly believe one day, my son, I had an epiphany the other day, I was laying down, and I believe maybe he will meet someone, or maybe he will meet someone that drink or take drugs as he grow up, because he's only young, 21, he's very young. It's overwhelming news for him. He's probably shocked, and he's just finished uni. And he would say, okay, so drugs and drink is an illness. So my mom was ill then. She didn't do it on purpose. Maybe. And he would just contact the woman. That's what I say, you know. So 10, 11, and 12 is to keep me awake. When I'm fast asleep, I write that inventory. I share it with my sponsor. Oh, I was very angry today. Why was he angry? Because my boss was just horrible to me. Well, that's my boss. My boss is Jamaican, and I'm not saying Jamaicans are horrible. She's very strict. If I say hello, if I say, oh, you look good today. Oh, here we go. Can you stop? So I try and cut it out. I just go to the back room and just jump up and down and come back and be quiet. That's how she is. But she's my manager. I have to respect her. Thank God I've got a job. You know, I do my nightly review. Have I been kind and loving towards all? Is there someone I missed? So I look on my diary. Oh my God, I missed somebody. Let me text them. I'm sorry I forgot about you. 3 people, and I send them a message. I can do the share in Luton. I can do the share for you in some Bible thing. I can do the share. The person was angry, didn't reply, but I generally was busy, but I did reply. Step 11 is about prayer and meditation. Shame on me if I don't wake up, fall on the floor and say, thank you, Jesus, for my life. Your will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. I am armed with the facts. I'm here to do your will to the day I die. Because I signed a contract to die an alcoholic death, or to have a spiritual life and to be free of this alcoholism. I signed it. So I have to continue to serve him. Either him or the devil have to. That's the least I can do for my God. So I'm not worried about HIV and AIDS, because God has a purpose for my life. Because I am here by his grace, and I'm here to serve him, and it's his purpose that I am here, to share my rubbish and my chaos with you guys so you can recover. Isn't that God? I could never think that I would share my shame with somebody and they get well. That's powerful. Never regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. So every day is a day we must carry God's will to all our activities. The proper use of the will. How can I best serve that will not mine be done? How can I best serve that will not mine be done? So when you're angry with your boss or your friends, just say, these people are crazy, that will be done. Even if you have to swear in the toilet or scream or come back and just say, okay, that will be done. It's better for you, trust me, in the long run. Step 12 is to share the message to the still suffering addict. Shame on me if they ask me to go to Great Yarmouth, for God knows where I'm going. On Saturday, I think Bromley somewhere. I can't wait, actually, to see some of my old friends and say, no, I'm tired. I had to take annual leave this week, last week. It's money I'm losing, but it's my annual leave. My boss said, well, you keep going Saturday. Because I'm a support worker. I work 6 weekends to get 1 weekend off. That's how it is. I work in hostel. It's all about weekends. So I said, I'm going to do my spiritual work. I'm happy. I'm jumping in the train, coughing about, and I'm going, because that's what gets me well. I only keep whatever I have by giving it away. So again, I will finish on my favorite page, which is page 68. You see, I love the Big Book for Alcoholics Anonymous. I love every page. But for me, it's 68 again. I don't know why I always go back to that. Because that touched something in me, you know. I am on a different basis. The basis trusting and rely upon God rather than anything myself. Because I know it's not me that's doing all this. And it's so nice. And I feel so sad that people think that they're doing it. You know, I'm in this world. We're in this world to play the role God has assigned. You taking the meeting, sitting down there, bless you. You're doing service. You're doing loads of speaker meeting. You're doing this. You're running around. You got family. You got a job. It's not easy. All these people who set up this meeting, they all have busy lives. But they put this number one because recovery has to be to the top. Then family, then social life. Recovery. Never let it down. So we humbly rely upon him or her, whatever you believe in. He enables us to match calamity with serenity. So guys, no matter what you're going through, you know you're going to be serene, providing you've worked the steps the way they're outlined, the way, not your way, skipping step 4 or skipping some amends, all your amends. You will have the hope. You will know God on a deeper level when you make all your amends and continue to make amends to your family. Pick up the phone and call people and say, I love you. Help your neighbor, someone disabled, someone homeless. Christmas time, I feed the homeless. Every Christmas, I buy socks, hats, flasks, and I feed the homeless and I sit with them when my kids go home. That's what I do. You know, be of service. Love conquers all. Guys, I love everybody here. And I love you to death, man. And my number will be on the chat. And if you call me and I'm busy, please don't do my thinking. I'm actually busy, but I will get back to you. Thank you for letting me be of service. God is love.
And we'll start with Lolly. Would you like to come in with your question?
Amazing, Isaac. Thank you so much. Hi, Amal. I'm Lolly, and I'm definitely an addict. Thank you so much for your share. You're speaking about the proper use of the will, and I just wondered, from your experience, how do you differentiate the difference between your will and God's will for you? Thank you so much.
1 second. How do I define God's will from self-will? In prayer and meditation, obviously, you define that. And if it sits right with you, then you know it's God's will. You know in your heart, you do know that. You know, but at times it's quite tricky. You know, like I said, what you practice, you become. The longer clean time you are around and the more relationship you have with your God, intimate relationship, then you know it is definitely God's will. Like, for instance, if someone asked me to go far away and share, and maybe some of my friends from the outside, or maybe not in recovery well, or my kids, but don't go, Mum, it's too far for you. Maybe that's why, yeah, well, it's God's will. No. That is not God's will. God's will want me to go there, and I go there. So it's quite tricky, yeah. You have to pray and sit on it. Sit with it. But you know in your heart. Remember, we don't burn energy foolishly. We take it easy. We don't go here, we don't go there. We know what's right from wrong. God's given us brain. Deep down within, you have got that God conscience, 6 senses, so you know. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank
Love
you,
you too.
Amal. Thank you, Lolly, for your question. Michael, you're up next.
Cheers, Isaac. Michael, addict. Amal, wow, blown away, lit the room up. God is love. Wonderful. Thank you. So my question would be, I'm not going to go too much into it. Do you ever find yourself like bonded to self and unable to identify what it is that you need God to remove? And if so, how do you get to the conclusion of what it is? Like, I find myself bonded in self quite a bit yesterday, and I could not work out why. Today I'm free, but yesterday I wasn't. Thanks again, Emil. Wonderful.
Okay, you're welcome. Nice to meet you, Michael. Nice to see you. You're talking about bonded in self. Like, give me an example of, what do you mean by that?
I was irritable yesterday at things that would not normally irritate me. And then I would pray or whatever, I'd get it removed, and, I'd be all right, I'd be back on the beam, and then something else wouldn't go the way Michael wanted it to go, the show, if you like, and I was irritated again, consistently over little things that normally would not get in.
Well, there's always a reason why that is there.
I know, but I don't know what it is.
There's a reason. How clean are you? How long have you been around?
Oh, I'm just coming up 3 years. So, baby.
3 months?
3 years.
3 years. Oh, for a year. Yeah, well done. Every day is a blessing. But it is about what you practice, you become. Obviously, there's something underlying there. There's something underlying why you're irritable and all of that through the day. I never really get that. Like I said, because you become vigilant. It's like when you stay around for a long time, you just know it. You can smell it up in the air. So, like, if I go to work, my job is really, really a big trigger for me. Because, like, the colleagues, there's like 7 of them, completely insane, because they're not from recovery. They're different, very loud, Jamaicans, lots of food going on. Oh, what's wrong with you? Why are you looking at me like that? Very, rough areas, northwest London, so they are like that. So it's really, I have to pray. I park up literally at the top of the road. I keep parking. I drive a bit. I keep parking. Please, God, give me the strength. Yeah, but give me the strength, Lord. You be the last, You deal with my enemies. If anything happened, let me shut my mouth, please, please, please. Even when I get to the door, breathe in, breathe out, and I come in. So I really work on that. So I just don't hear anything, literally. I don't hear anything. So if you really, really, all through the day, you're snapping, maybe you're tired. Maybe there's an area in your life that God is highlighting for you to work on. You need to be writing these things down. Did it happen to you more than once? Is it that same area? Is it that same trigger?
Beautiful. Thank you, Michael, for your question.
I hope I
Lisa,
answered it.
good to see you. You're up next with your question.
Thanks, Isaac. Thank you for your share. That was, wow. It really blew my mind. Mine is, how long did it take you to accept the fact that you might never see your children again? Because that's one thing I'm really, really struggling with at the moment and would like to get some sort of acceptance around it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you, Lisa. Nice to see you. I think probably about 2 years, just a bit after 2 years, because I remember crying a lot in the meetings. I was always crying a lot about my kids. I accepted it, but crying and really like sharing just about them. The whole conversation was about them. So I was really in self with that. 2 years in sobriety, I would do main shares and stuff like that, but mostly around the kids, and it took me nearly 2 years to really accept it. But like I said, again, I'll go back to the same sentence: what you practice, you become. I had to accept. The more work you do on yourself, and the more step work and the more healing work. I've done counseling for over 10 years. I kept on asking for more counseling, a lot of therapy. So it is about therapy as well, where I go there and I'm just screaming my eyes out in recovery and the woman's just not talking. And I always crying, especially about Dominic. But eventually I had to accept, because they'll always be your kids, and I'm so sorry to hear that. They will always be your children. They're part of you. And you will be with them one day. You're making me cry. I know how it feels as a mum. But I'm alive without them, so you can be alive. But they live in your heart, isn't it? Bless you, man. You see, addiction, I'm so sorry about that. You make me cry, honestly. I felt it for you. Take my numbers in the chat.